You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
That's the prime time, bitch!
Nothing like a strangulation to get the circulation going.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
This house is clean.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. I am pain.
Welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Eddie Monsters Reviews. We have a special one for all of you right now, but I am warning you, this is not a spoiler-free episode. There is a major spoiler that is going to be revealed in this episode. So, if you don't feel like having it spoiled, stop watching the video, turn around, and go somewhere else. I'm just warning you, fair game. But as always, I am Eddie Monster. This is Eddie Monsters Reviews right here for Eddie's 31 Days of Halloween. Please, we love all of you. And if you could, please subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. We try to come up with content all the time. And as always, what you're seeing in the right side of your screen is a QR code. It's to a Give Butter account for trying to raise money to bring back a movie theater in my home city of Attleboro. I'm trying to do, along with somebody else, we want to have this dream of doing a horror film festival and things of that nature. So any amount is greatly appreciated, even if it's just $1. We'd greatly appreciate it. All right, so for today, we are checking out none other. There's a horror film, and for some reason, it didn't play in every theater in my area. I had to go to an old theater, my old stomping grounds, so to speak. I used to work at a movie theater years ago, and I had to go to that old stomping grounds just to see it. But Clown in a Cornfield has just been released, and for those of you that don't know, it's based off the book by Adam Cesare, and to be honest, right now, 100% with all of you, I wish I had read the book before I went and saw this film. Not saying anything bad about the film. No. I just wish I knew like what I was getting into. But all will be explained. So the film was directed by Eli Craig, and for those of you, everything he's done, I've loved, from Tucker and Dale versus Evil to Zombieland. Fantastic director. He directs this film, and it stars Katie Douglas, who you may remember from Ginny and Georgia, which I think is a show on Netflix. I don't really know. But she plays Quinn, and Aaron Abrams from Hannibal plays Dr. Glenn, which is her dad. Now, they are a tandem, right, because the mother has passed away, and they've moved all the way to this town in the middle of the sticks in the Midwest. Those typical towns where it's like, they have one factory, and the factory is the lifeblood of the town, things of that nature, and has a very Children of the Corn kind of like vibe of the factory, something happened, and it's shut down, and the whole town is just, up and, they're just, things are bad. Let's just say that. So nonetheless, they move to this town, and Quinn is her character name, befriends Carson MacCormac's character. You may remember Carson MacCormac from Shazam. He is Cole. He is the son of basically the guy that he's along the bloodline, I should say, of the guy who basically started this town, started that factory, everything like that. He's the great-great-grandson, or whatever the hell they say. And along with his friends, Cassandra Potenza plays Janet. Remember her from Haunted Wedding. Verity Marks from Toys of Terror. She plays Ronnie. Io Solanke plays Tucker. They're a group of friends that are not really liked in the town. And there's reasons, because they're mischievous. Okay, and they love to film everything, and basically it's pranks. And they do this prank that involves Friendo. Now, for those of you who are wondering who Friendo is, to my left, right, that side, is a clown named Friendo. He was the mascot of this company. And murders began to sort of happen involving Friendo, I guess. And these kids decide to always pull pranks. And the town's kind of had enough. They're not very well liked. And Katie has been warned by the sheriff, who's played by Will Sasso, to not hang out with that crowd. It's not really a good crowd to hang out with. And you'll find out later why it's not a good crowd to hang out with. But nonetheless, things have to go as planned. There's going to be the big Founders Day festival that's going to happen. That's run by Kevin Durand. You may remember Kevin Durand. Come on. He was recently just in Abigail, which was a great film, and the X-Men movies. Come on, he's plays Bob. So Kevin Durand is the father of Cole, and you can even see he's at his wit's end with Cole, just because of all the things that have happened. But you know what? It's business as usual. We got to do the Founders Day. Well, all of a sudden, Friendo is back, and Friendo starts attacking the group of friends. So I could leave it at that, right? And going into this film, I thought this was going to be some, like, supernatural thing where, you know, somehow they must have, like, because they messed around too much, they brought back the presence of Friendo. You don't really see that. He just appears out of nowhere, and he comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean? No explanation, no, like, what the fuck is going on kind of deal. He just starts murdering. You know what I mean? Like, he drops his little jack in the box. You wind it up, and as soon as you wind it up, boop, boom, he comes around, so on and so forth. But here's the major spoiler. And I have to do this because it explains why I enjoyed the film. So again, I am telling you, spoiler alert, if you do not want to know, please turn around. And if you don't care, then let's continue on. Because time is money. So basically, the reason I loved this movie was that it was different. And it was different because of this twist. And the major twist is that there begins to be multiple friendos coming out of everywhere. And you're like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on? And then you figure it out. It's the townspeople getting rid of this group of friends. And apparently, they've been doing this for generations, basically. They just following along with every generation. When an outsiders come in, or there's a new generation that questions everything, instead of dealing with change and moving on and evolving, they just decide to get rid of it. Get rid of the problem. It solves everything. That's why the town is backwards. That's why the town looks dilapidated. Because they're not willing to change. And Cole is kind of your agent of change, in a way. He has dreams of what this town could be, so to speak. But unfortunately, you know, he's just part of the problem, as you'll learn in this film. So I thought it was really smart. I thought that was really good. And it brought this kind of intensity to the film. It's like, okay, you're not just trying to avoid one clown. You're avoiding a whole shit ton of clowns. And it's the chase begins, and there's some great kills in this film. One of them is this pitchfork scene. I loved it. I mean, one character that you don't want to die ends up dying, unfortunately. But the other character uses the pitchfork and uses it back on one of the clowns. Another clown gets his hand blown off. There's some great stuff in here. One just disintegrates as soon as it gets hit by a car. Fun stuff. I'm telling you, fun stuff. It was a fun movie. I had a lot of fun watching this. They definitely, and I'm going to say this, but I'm not going to spoil like why, but they definitely leave this up to a sequel, which makes me want to read the book. Now I want to read the books, because there's more than one Clown in a Cornfield book. So now I'm super interested in reading the books, because I want to see what happens next, where does it go? And then I'm better prepared in the long run to go and see this movie, if they do a sequel. But they definitely leave it open for a sequel for sure. So, yeah, I loved the film. I was a huge fan of it. It was just great. You know what I mean? Great kill scenes, great comedy to go along with the horror in the film. All good stuff. Cinematography was fantastic. The special effects were great. I just loved it. And I highly recommend it. So if you get a chance, go and see it. I'm giving this one an A- for a final grade. You heard it here. Eddie Monsters Reviews. We'll see you next time.